What's happening, guys? Listen, I thought I'd just make a quick video. Boxing is doing my head in at the minute. I'm looking at the upcoming schedule, and to be honest, there's not a lot jumping off the page to me. So I thought we'd go and have a little look through what people are asking us to pay for in the foreseeable future. Right, this is what we're being asked to pay for, the schedule upcoming, because to be honest, this is getting out of hand. I've just recently seen an email of them saying that they're doing a 30-day cancellation notice as well now for if you want to stop subscribing to them, you have to give them 30 days notice. When they sold their whole thing on the fact you can jump in and jump out whenever you want. Obviously things aren't going too well, and looking at the state of some of these cards, off the top of my head on DAZN I only know of one half decent card, but other than that, let's see what's coming up here. There was Mayweather versus Deji, November 13th. One absolute insane fight that is. Floyd Mayweather is fighting Deji. This guy, Deji, I think he's only ever won one fight. He's lost against YouTubers, but Mayweather is fighting him. And don't even... what? Is there even an undercard? I don't even know how you look to see if there's an undercard on it. That will be pay-per-view probably. Well, most definitely pay-per-view because it's a Mayweather fight. And it's a YouTuber fight. That will probably be the biggest selling thing on DAZN this year. Lara San Martin. I believe that's this weekend. Yeah, that is this weekend. It's in Mexico. What's the undercard look like? I don't know how to use this app really. I wonder whether Matchroom. Let's just go to Matchroom. And we could get a better idea of what's going on here. Insane, isn't it? Right, what we got? Lara San Martin, C event. Reshit Mati versus Diego Santiago Sanchez. 19 wins, 2 losses. Probably not a terrible matchmaking fight. Angel Ferrero versus Jeremy Cuevas. Again, these ain't selling it to me as a fan. The Lara fight Lara's always entertaining to watch. Right, now we jump forward to the 29th. Katie Taylor versus Kara Barajal. 19 wins. She's got no knockouts. She's just going to be outworked by Katie Taylor on a points decision, isn't she? Let's face it. Undercard. Right. There's one fight there that jumps out at me as quite a decent fight. Jordan Gill versus Kiko Martinez. I've just seen it pop up my phone that Kevin Edjarko's fight has been cancelled. He's injured his hand or something. He was fighting an undefeated guy, which probably wouldn't have been too bad. Then you got Ellie Scottney fighting... What's this? Is this for some sort of title? It must be for some sort of title, so name's second. Gary Cully is fighting someone who's lost a few times. Cully should be fighting better opposition than this after his recent win. Who did he beat? Vasquez, was it? You know, he should be well up on competition here. You got Johnny Fisher, right? They've stuck his name on this card because, let's face it, the card isn't great and he's going to bang out about 3,000 tickets for it. That's the reality of boxing there, guys. So, where is this? It's at Wembley. Wembley Arena, I assume. The OVO Arena, I didn't recognise the name, but I'm assuming that's Wembley Arena. So basically, Johnny Fisher sold out Wembley Arena. That's the moral of his story. Japanese card at the 1st of November. That's got no interest in me because it don't fall on a Saturday night really, so it's not a social event to me. It might. Does it fall on a Saturday night? They're usually like first thing in the morning, aren't they, in Japan? Anyway, this is the card I'm looking forward to. Bivol versus Ramirez. C event. Right, this is the only decent fight I can see on the schedule coming up. You got Dimitri Bivol fighting Gilberto Ramirez. Now, Bivol coming off, obviously, a very good win against Canelo Alvarez. Just a bigger man. Could I say the better boxer as well? I suppose I could say it. And he just had too much for Canelo. He's fighting Gilberto Ramirez. Now, Ramirez is an interesting one because the guy is absolutely massive. You see him next to Bivol. He makes Bivol look small. I remember his name floating about the super middleweight scene when he was fighting at super middleweight. And he fought the likes of, well, he was supposed to fight the likes of Callum Smith. I think there was some sort of final eliminator for a WBC title or a diamond title or something. Anyway, the fight never got made. But he's worked his way in the background, really, if we're being honest, and built up a record of 44-0 with 30 stoppages. Now, this, I believe, will be a good fight as a main event. And to top it off, my prediction on that, I'll probably do a later video, but I'm leaning towards Bivol. Just because I feel like Ramirez has maybe been working behind the scenes and waiting to break out on the major stage. However, maybe this is his time to break out. Or maybe this is his time to cash out. You never know, do you? Anyway, this has got a few good fights on the undercard, I noticed. Chantel Cameron, Jessica McCaskill has fallen on the undercard for this. This is for the undisputed Super Lightweight Championship. Good fight. Good fight. You got Zelfa Barrett, who's stepping in because of the bizarre situation with Joe Cordina, where Joe Cordina has basically been stripped for breaking his hand or whatever he's done. He's got a hand injury and the IBF have stripped him rather than make him interim champion. There's something behind the scenes that went on there about a promise that was made to immediately defend his title against Rakhimov. And obviously he couldn't do that because of the injury, so he was stripped. And I think there's also a promise behind the scenes that the winner of this fight, Zelfa Barrett and Rakhimov, has to immediately defend their title against Joe Cordina. So everyone sort of gets a shot at it here and there. Zelfa Barrett will be looking to become world champion in this fight. I don't know enough of Rakhimov without looking into him. I know he's a good fighter. I think I've seen him fight once before. I don't know enough about him to know what sort of chances Zelfa Barrett has got. I assume it's going to be a hard fight for him. I think the better of the two out of Zelfa Barrett and Joe Cordina is Joe Cordina. So if Zelfa comes up short, maybe we get another crack at the whip by Joe Cordina afterwards. Galal Yafai, very good fighter, is fighting Gohan Garcia. Bad pronunciation probably. But that is for the WBC International Flyweight title. Again, what's it, his third fight? Galal? Yeah, this will be his third fight. And he's fighting a 12-1 guy with a title on the line. So he's moving fast, as he should, with the background that he's got. being a Olympic gold medalist. And look, they've slipped his brother on the card as well now, Calify, which we're interested to see him back. And then they've banned Campbell Hatton and Akib Fiaz on the card. Campbell Hatton, they're probably going to stick him down low. Make sure you can get a fight on a fairly big card when there's not as much pressure from a crowd or so on. This is actually in Abu Dhabi, I believe, this card. So it shouldn't be too bad time-wise. What's that? 3 or 4 hours in front of the UK. So they'll probably be able to put the fight on at a time out there which suits a UK audience on the Saturday night, I assume. But let's face it, guys. Let's just look at this. Yeah, we're on DAZN here. Well, we're on Matchroom, but you know, you got Josh Warren fighting here. You got Estrada Gonzalez, who's obviously a good fight, but don't pique the interest. Really, for me, I mean, I'll watch it, but I'm not gonna get up and watch it. I'll watch it in the morning. Not interested in this. Montana Love, very good fighter. I don't know enough about this sport. He seems to have come out of nowhere. You know, he's 15-0. No, he's 15 with two. He's 15 wins and 2 losses. But he's got 14 knockouts. So maybe he can punch. Maybe he's got an inflated record. We'll find out. I expect Montana Love to win that fight because Love's very good. They stuck Ray Ford on the undercard and Richardson and Hitchens, which is their young. Well, they're both Olympians, I believe so. I think Hitchens is a relatively new signing from Matchroom. I don't think the full card must be announced for that because other than that, it's very poor. You know, what are they asking me to pay £8 a month for and give them 30 days notice to cancel? You know, what's the date today? The 19th of October. So if I give them 30 days notice, that's going to be roughly the 19th of November. I'm going to miss this card, which is the only one that I'm bothered about, which is why I'll keep my subscription. Other than that, you know, we're into December. I could probably renew then, get the Warrington fight, but let's face it, what's in the undercard of Warrington so far? You got Bridges fighting Shannon O'Connell, which is a good domestic fight, but it looks like Matchroom are going for an all-female card so far, other than the main event. I don't know enough about Lopez really either. He looks like quite a decent fighter, but I just think it's poor from Matchroom and DAZN. And I know we're waiting on a couple of announcements from DAZN fighters, but I just can't see this year topping out with anything a lot better than what's going on here. If they announce an Anthony Joshua fight, it's going to be a pay-per-view fight. Don't be naive to think that DAZN pay-per-view is going to go out the window for Joshua just because he's coming off back-to-back defeats. Not only are they going to take your money here, they're going to take another 30 quid probably off of you for, let's face it, it's going to be Anthony Joshua versus Otto Wallin or something like that. I just can't, you know, I find myself leaning towards Sky at the minute. They're coming out with some half decent shows. At least their shows, they seem to be trying to make a statement with a few of their shows. Like that big card that we just had, first time in history, all female card. They put it on free to view Sky basically, off of the Sky Sports channels. They're trying to make a bit of a statement. I can't see that statement here from Matchroom. Matchroom need to get around the ball table with DAZN, and DAZN need to say, where's this $10 billion or whatever they offered them? Where is this money going? Because it ain't paying for the pay-per-view fights that we've now got in it. It's paying for all these undercard fights and all these standard, what we were told would be pay-per-view equivalent cards. Ask yourself, if this card here, you would pay on a Sky pay-per-view. Katie Taylor versus Karab Bajal. No one's ever heard of her. You know, Jordan Gill, Kiko Martinez. Good Saturday night co-main event or something. There's nothing else on there. This is not the equivalent of a Sky pay-per-view. And you're looking at the sort of stuff that Sky are putting up, and even they put up on their normal Sky Sports subscription service, they've put up the likes of like Chris Eubank versus Liam Williams was on normal Sky. They put this show at the weekend, the all-female card. Brilliant card. A lot of hype around it. They put it on Sky Showcase. You didn't even have to have the Sky Sports channels to watch it. Anyway, Sky need to carry on doing what they're doing, and Matchroom and DAZN need to seriously go up in my books, because how they're performing at the minute, they're going to lose a lot of customers, and this thing ain't going to work out for them. I don't even get me started on what the Americans probably think of them for the content they're producing out in America. Anyway, just a short little rant video, just giving my thoughts on the current state of DAZN. See you later, guys.